The White House has condemned the use of violence against protesters in Yemen. More than 100 people were injured after security forces opened fire on a rally in the capital Sana'a. Thousands of demonstrators have taken to the streets for a third consecutive day, calling for President Ali Abdullah Saleh to step down. Hashem Ahelbarra is there.
Another day of protests, another day of violence. Security forces, along with government loyalists, opening fire on the protesters, beating them with batons, sticks and rocks. It's an extremely tense situation here in the capital, Sana'a. However, the protesters are saying that they will continue to fight for democracy and that they won't be deterred by the excessive use of force by security forces. Pitched street battles at the University Square, the epicenter of the pro-democracy movement in the capital. Clashes pitting security forces and armed government loyalists against protesters. Tear gas canisters fired, followed by gunshots. Casualties are on the rise. They are carried by their colleagues to a nearby clinic set up in a mosque. This is the makeshift clinic where the anti-government protesters are being treated by doctors. Most of these cases are suffering from tear gas canisters. The doctors are saying that they are developing convulsions, and this is what led some of the doctors to suspect that maybe security forces in Yemen are using some sort of prohibited nerve gas. Allegations rejected by the government and by security forces. General Yahya Saleh is the chief of security forces. His troops are accused of using excessive force against unarmed civilians.
We are using tear gas canisters we imported from other countries that promote human rights. These are not homemade weapons. You can go and film our water cannon trucks. Everything is within the law. One person was killed because of suffocation. We are sorry for that. We are not using live ammunition, otherwise the death toll would be much higher.
At the University Square, the demonstrators are holding their daily gatherings in a show of defiance.
Actually, Yemeni people now, they are ready to have their fights by themselves to the end. Even if they have a lot of died people, a lot of injured, you can see there in the hospital a lot of injured till now. So I think it's not ethical to fight honest people by poisoned gases, by bombs, by gun shooting. It's not acceptable.
This is the third attack on the protesters in less than a week. A sign of the increased tension in the capital as the embattled president insists he will stay in power till the end of his term in 2013. The protesters, on the other hand, are holding out. An impasse many worry could lead to more violence and bloodshed. Hashem Ahelbarra, Al Jazeera, Sana'a. Violence in different parts of the country. In Taiz, in the city of Aden, where 2 protesters were killed by security forces. People are starting to ask why the government is using this excessive force against unarmed civilians in Sana'a, in Taiz, in Aden, in different parts of the country. A deputy minister of planning resigned over this clampdown. Another member of the parliament has also resigned. Now we're in a situation where 20 members of the ruling party have resigned, and many tribal leaders from different parts of the country are saying and warning President Ali Abdullah Saleh, if he continues using force against the protesters, they will have to send their own armed tribesmen here to the capital Sana'a to protect the protesters.